Hello there, good evening. Welcome to the Saturday match on this, the last day of the league season. Now we're going to concentrate on that fascinating race for promotion in Division 2, with Leicester and Fulham chasing the one remaining place. It should have been decision day, but tonight confusion reigns instead. It's turning into one of the most amazing promotion sagas ever, and we have the whole story in pictures. Now, this was the situation before today's games. Leicester and Fulham both on 69 points, but Leicester with a better goal difference. So all Leicester had to do was to beat Burnley to make sure. Fulham, they were at Derby, and all they could do was try to get the points and hope that Leicester didn't. Now we're featuring start though with Derby versus Fulham. And just to add to the excitement, Derby needed points as well to make sure that they didn't go down. The pictures are from Central Television. The commentator is Brian Moore.
So Derby County in white attack the goal to our left. Fulham in an all-change strip of red on a crucial afternoon. And it's unthinkable, really, a few weeks ago to believe that so much could be resting on today's game, with Fulham at one point this season 12 points clear of the fourth club in the promotion race. And Derby County on a real roller coaster season were once 9 points away adrift at the bottom, and then 15 games without a defeat, and then defeat in their last two has suddenly put them right back into trouble again. Derby needing a point, and Fulham wondering what's going to be happening in the game between Leicester City and Burnley. Good jump there by Coney, and Gordon Davis going through. Was he shoved? The referee had a good hard look at it, and for a moment Derby were in terrible trouble, and the shove came from Foster, but it wasn't an unfair one according to the referee. Wait on there. Davis was through, Foster is after him, Foster playing the ball, and I would say the referee was right. Raleigh. Hopkins, oh! Gale. And again to Lewington. Gale. Played in for Wilson, and now for Davis. And Emerson getting it away. That wasn't very good though, straight to Gale. And now Robert Wilson. Oh, and that's an interesting ball there. And a header that was just kept out from Coney. And Davis, I think, quite properly is claiming that he was pushed, and Peter Taylor, needless to say, was worried by that. So Fulham in the red strip get the second half underway, and the next 45 minutes will decide just what sort of rewards there will be for these two clubs after 9 months of real hard slog. Derby are warming much more to their task in this second half. Emerson taking on Hopkins again, and Hopkins had the pace that time. He goes, oh my word, it was a real swipe at Hopkins there by Hooks. Raleigh with a header. And hit into the roof of the net, superbly there by Davison. Raleigh's header in, and a belting volley into the roof of the net. The fans are on the pitch. The dogs are on the pitch to get them off. Fulham's promotion hopes seem to be shattered, and Derby look as though they're going to survive in the second division. And staying up, staying up, staying up is the cry from the baseball crowd. And Malcolm MacDonald knows that the long, hard struggle could end in failure for Fulham, and how they must be regretting their 3 successive defeats a couple of weeks or so ago. Back with Roger Brown to the goalkeeper, and there are quite a few fans already on the pitch, and the referee surely isn't going to allow that. All around Steve Cherry's goal, as Hopkins comes forward, now with Gale. Remarkable scenes behind that goal as Davis goes in, and there's the header saved. Look at that. They're actually on the pitch. The whistle, in fact, the whistle had gone and the flag was up for an offside. Gives you an idea of the depth of feeling for football in this great old footballing town. That survival in the second division can generate as much excitement as this has today. Coming to the last minute or so of the game, Houghton played in for Gale. For Houghton again. Oh, did Cherry get a touch? Yes, he did, because the corner's indicated. It was a very good strike indeed by Houghton, and just tipped away there by Cherry, you could see it. But getting the corner taken might be a little more difficult. In its way, in its very small way. We're back in Wembley in 1923 when the crowd were on the touchline and the cup final was being played then between West Ham and Bolton. Today it's the baseball ground. It's Fulham against Derby County, and Gale trying manfully to get a shot in, but Derby on the break again, and it's Butcher who's made a tremendous break and then couldn't quite gather up the ball, and they get it back to Jerry Payton. They're well on the pitch now, all the way around the fans. Empson. And it's Brooks now for Derby County. Behind for the goal kick. Played nearly 2 minutes of injury time, and he's looked at both linesmen. The thumbs are up. Malcolm McDonald knows it's the second division next season. I don't think he's all that happy with this crowd. I've never seen, he was saying, anything like this. Can't believe it. And I honestly feel that it can't be right. The last minutes might be a formality, but it can't be easy for the players out there. Locke. Newington. Played on again towards Wilson. The crowd gets back, or at least tries to get back partially behind the lines. Wilson once again. And it was actually tackled by somebody in the crowd. The linesman's flagging. Well, that was always likely to happen. And, I mean, it's a crazy situation now. I'm not at all sure that effort shouldn't have been made to get the crowd behind those barriers the moment they started to appear. Once they were allowed to come through, they were followed by others, and now, of course, it's a situation that's totally out of hand. There's no way you're going to get them back behind the barriers. And they're right around the goal, for example. It's all very well for the policeman to start waving them back. I don't think he's got a chance. And he's back in the crowd again. And they're all round the goal where Steve Cherry is in that Derby goal. It's a crazy situation. Newington now with the throw. Now Gale. Crossed in once more. Brown heading it on. Wilson's there too, looking to get a volley in, but couldn't manage it. They still can't get it away. Now they can. Well, the loudspeaker is imploring them to get behind, but there really is whistling in the dark. But the final whistle, and Derby have survived. Whether they survive this invasion might be another thing. Fulham know that they have to play in the second division again next season. Their promotion run is over. They're beaten by Davison's goal, and Derby know that they have survived the threat of a drop into the third division, and the celebrations start now at the baseball ground.
Earlier, the quite incredible scenes as the crowd encroached onto the baseball ground pitch. Let's now look again at the end of the match. The Fulham goalkeeper, Jerry Payton, with the ball, and as he kicks it downfield, the referee blows his whistle. Everyone thought it was full time, but apparently it was for offside. There was still 1 minute and 18 seconds on the clock, but clearly the referee had no chance at all of restarting. Fulham, remember, had needed a victory to give them promotion. And what happened to them at Derby had manager Malcolm MacDonald fuming. Brian Moore spoke to him.
Malcolm, what is the latest situation? Will there be a replay or won't there be a replay?
Well, Mike Watterson, I understand the Derby chairman, has intimated that they will be prepared to have a replay. The game hasn't gone the full 90 minutes, and also there was 7 minutes of intimidation by the crowd were actually on the pitch in a number of areas, and so now really it is a question of what the Football League decide on when they see the referee's report. But the referee has stated that that the 90 minutes wasn't completed, and that also that there were a number of incidents after the game with players they were assaulted by the crowd that ran onto the pitch.
What do you mean by intimidated over those last 6 or 7 minutes?
Well, there was an incident during the last few minutes. I don't quite remember what time it was, Brian, but Robert Wilson was running down the touchline with a ball, and a supporter has run on and blatantly kicked him in the thigh. And you can't play football under those circumstances.
There was a suggestion that the referee might get the players to come back out again and play again, but that didn't appeal to you, obviously.
Well, we couldn't have fielded 11 players because we had a player, Jeff Hopkins, who had been so badly set upon. His shirt had been totally ripped off his back, and he had been punched in the air and in a number of other places. And the lad was in total shock. He had been surrounded by thousands of people and could see no avenue of escape. Finally, he made it to the dressing room and was absolutely frozen stiff in shock.
Really? So, I mean, you don't regard, then, that your promotion dream is shattered yet? I mean, you feel that you should get another chance?
I feel that we should have this game replayed because it hasn't gone the full course of 90 minutes. And plus, before the crowd actually came onto the pitch to cover the pitch entirely, there were a number of intimidatory incidents that happened that doesn't make for a conducive footballing atmosphere.